Investigation. Italian company makes sure Russian war machine has the steel it needs. Kyiv Independent. After Russia seized Crimea and unleashed the war in the Donbass in 2014, the Italian Danieli Group Gr. EU to become a major player in the Russian steel industry, the engine of Putin's war machine. Danieli, which sells and services equipment for steel plants, has since worked with at least 14 Russian metal companies, including 6 that contribute to the Russian military industry. Danieli didn't leave the Russian market when Russia started its full-scale invasion of Ukraine in 2022 and has supplied. Below are your comments. If we have any ties to this company, they need to be stopped. I would think that some type of sanctions should be put on this company, and not just the US. Anyone in the EU should immediately put strong sanctions on this company. I'm talking tough sanctions. Start with the banks that loan them money. Just goes to show you that wars aren't about politics, religion, or social injustices. Wars are strictly about money. Always follow the money. Should Italy be pulled out of NATO? Or maybe they should put double the amount of GDP contribution to NATO, from the time the war starts, to an equal time after it's over. There has to be consequences. I am sure that this Italian company is not the only company working against the West. But any time they are discovered, they need to be exposed and stop any support of Russia and Putin. Europe is playing both sides of this conflict. Next news. Germany's Scholz, friendly union proposal, for Orban to leave room for Ukraine decision. Reuters. German Chancellor Olaf Scholz on Friday called his proposal to Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban to leave the room to avoid endorsing a decision to open European Union membership talks with Ukraine. A friendly union proposal. Thursday's decision sent a strong signal towards the Kremlin, Scholz's aide after an EU summit in Brussels, noting it was a miscalculation by Russian President Vladimir Putin in that support for Ukraine is waning. Scholz's move was the big surprise of the summit, as Orban. Below are your comments. Orban will never stop pestering the European Union even if he gets the whole fund. EU should not have released even a cent. Orban wants to get money from both Putin and EU. That is the Hungarian way. He forgets that Hungary is landlocked and getting the boot from EU would be devastating. At least we have a voice of reason in EU when the USA is bogged down by her own Congress budget impa. SSE. All nations who believe in protecting the current setup to prevent free-for-all conflict just because say they can do it, must continue to help Ukraine, as the alternative is loss of trust in the CU. Consider a future scenario of Ukraine and Western Balkan countries as members of EU by 2030, and Hungary out of the Union, and Britain rejoining EU by then. Don't you see a stronger EU and NATO? Two things. Next news. Ukraine puts head of Russian church on wanted list. Reuters. The measure is purely symbolic as Patriarch Kirill is in Russia and under no threat of arrest. It was the latest step in Ukraine's campaign to uproot the influence of priests it alleges maintain close links to Russia and subvert Ukrainian society. Below are your comments. Religious leaders shouldn't meddle in politics. Doesn't matter. There won't be a Ukraine in another year. Ukraine, bastion of human rights. He is a legitimate military target for Ukraine. Kirill has had his hands deep in Putin's pants for a long time, so to speak, and has been one of the key figures in the war. That, along with his unrepentant persecution of religious minorities in Russia, makes him among the worst religious figures in. Well, what would expect? He blesses Russian soldiers for all the atrocities they have and are committing in Ukraine. He preaches that all who have died, fighting in Ukraine, go straight to heaven, including their hoofs. Please subscribe to my channel. And if you like it, please thumbs up.